Watching Kyle's unboxing videos again?
Yeah, he always finds the coolest... No way! A robot dog? Gotta ask where he got it.
Or use your Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Just draw a circle around the dog on your screen, and it shows you where to buy it right in the app.
Whoa, I just learned a new trick. And that for once, I beat Kyle to the next big thing.
Circle it, find it with the new Galaxy S24 Ultra and circle the search with Google. Get yours now at Samsung.com. Internet connection required. Results may vary based on visuals.
Bernigan, 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 ABCs.
Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs. And this week, we are not discussing any songs. It is our yearly year in review episode. And we're going to review some songs that we've already gone over, the ratings we've given. We're going to be updating some missing data and telling you what to expect from next year. I am very happy to be joined by Betsy and Heidi.
Hello.
Hello.
And we will have a guest appearance by Aaron from the North Pole later on, and he will give us his thoughts. But for now, we are going to do things a little differently tonight than we usually do for our year in review. Usually I reveal where everyone else's current scores are for their album after we go through all the scores, after we've updated all the missing scores. But not this year. I want to keep that a surprise because this is our final year, sort of. It's time for me on Bare Naked ABCs to expose ourselves. I mean, the plans for the next year. Well, you know what? Before we get to that, we need to review the last year. I got to go collect myself. So, why don't we do a quick wrap up of all those loose ends that we haven't covered so far? I mean, Heidi still has some really old numbers to kind of go back through, but she's kept pretty up to date. So we're gonna go back through the songs that we have covered this year that people have missed, and if someone has missed, or if many people have missed that song, we're going to cover it all at the same time so that I can easily splice that together. And it's a little bit more than one person talking for like 10 minutes straight, because we have a few missed songs. So the first song up on our list is Sonata para Bombachas, which is the Royal Canadian Air Farce theme.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the Royal Canadian Air Farce until I saw this. I'd looked it up. I guess they're kind of like, well, the Capitol Steps are more politicians, but kind of a similar sketch comedy group. I'm not sure. But I like the jazzy chords and the nice tight arrangement of the vocal harmonies. It's a good little ditty. It's pretty short. And the lyrics are basically scat syllables, so there's not too much to analyze there. But I like it. You know, I wouldn't skip it if it came on during a shuffle play. That being said, I'm probably not going to be craving to hear it again very soon and seek it out. So I would give it 3 bombachas out of 5.
Nice. Well, that brings us to another Canadian song, or another song about Canadians, I should say. Straw Hat and Old Dirty Hank, which is about Anne Murray, kind of.
Yeah, which I only knew once I started Googling the lyrics. Yeah, it's a very nice song, musically speaking. You've got Stephen Page laying down some outstanding vocals. You've got that early BNL energy, nice instrumentation, darkly comedic lyrics. All of the things that I really dig about old school BNL. I think it deserves a spot on the best of playlist for me. So I'm giving this one 4.2 obsessions out of 5.
And the next one up after that is, this time it's your turn, Heidi. Your first one up is Summertime.
Okay, so we're down to summertime, going down the list. I'm just like, oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I tried to go backwards. And summer. No, that's wrong. Summertime.
There's a couple
Pushing through like summertime. I really like Summertime. I've always liked this song. It feels like summer. So this one for me is like a 4.7. So I just plugged that in for you. Yeah, I really like that song. I don't know why. It always kind of reminds me of of summer. It's low key, it's laid back. I love Ed's voice on it.
And it's a winter song, but it's talking about the summer.
I really like that song.
Well, you know what we have in the summertime? We have lots of sunshine.
We have
So
lots.
what do you think of that?
Sunshine is not as high as that one. But then again, right. Shush. But I love the lyrics of that song. And I like the it's a very like some really good connections. I really like it. There were some lines like let's see, sunshine burns your skin. Sometimes the things we love so much, something about that, like,
Yes,
like getting too close, like the whole Icarus, like thing. I really like that too. I'm going to give that a 4.
We're back to you, Aaron. We're going to take it back to you to discuss Take It Back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Take it back. Yeah. There's a nice twinkly piano and a minor key, and that sort of gave this one a head start right out of the gate for me. Ed delivers heartfelt vocals like only he can. There are some really nice, lush vocal harmonies. This has so many elements that just appeal so strongly to my sensibilities. I know it's a Paige Robertson song on paper, but this does feel more like an Ed song to me. I feel like it's Ed's baby. And this, I would say, is a great example of what Ed does really well. Ed, we know you listen, come on the show. I really like this one. I would award Take It Back 4.4 plastic knives out of 5.
Ooh, I thought that this was like in the higher end of those 4s. You know what? Let's take it outside.
Oh, indeed. So Take It Outside, here we're planted very firmly in country rock, very, very Ed territory again. I'm trying to put this into context here. This isn't really the sort of song that I would normally seek out. It's a little too country for me. I mean, I like Johnny Cash, I like Hank Williams, but this is a little too specifically late 90s, early 2000s pop country for me. And there's nothing wrong with that sort of music. It's just not what I'm really drawn to. So this song was kind of already had an uphill battle in front of it to win me over. Now, when I think about country music, I think about the kind of music they would play at the very small single screen movie theater in the small town I grew up in. And they had played this, if they played this, I should say, if they had played this instead of some of the other songs that I remember them playing, I probably would have perceived it to be a market improvement. Having said that, though, although I think it's a nice and pleasant song to listen to, I can't really see it making the cut for my best of playlist. I'll say 3.5 slammed doors out of 5.
So, Betsy, we haven't heard from you for a couple minutes. Testing 1, 2, 3. Are you there?
Loud and clear. Ringmaster. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Can anybody hear me?
I mean, lyrically, it's clever, but musically, it's okay. I like the wordplay and everything. And I really like the music video, was pretty cool. But overall, it didn't wow me. So probably like a 3.7.
Okay, that's pretty respectable.
I didn't realize I'd missed that one. Of course, I didn't look at the chart either, so that's probably why I'm surprised.
That would do it.
Weird. Correlated.
Okay, all right. So Betsy gave her opinion. What is your opinion of Take It Outside, Aaron? Of Testing 1, 2, 3, Aaron?
Testing 1, 2, 3. From the title of the song, I was worried this would be another How's the Level. It is, in fact, a real song. I like the use of the electronic drums, but I really would have been pleased to have heard Tyler playing his kit alongside the electric beat, like both at the same time in a layer kind of thing. But I guess that's just me wanting every band to be their second child. It's a perfectly fine pop rock song that even has a few extras you wouldn't normally get, like very nice vocal harms in the background, ahs. I'll say 3.5 escarpments out of 5.
Okay.
Sorry, 3.6. I misread my notes.
Oh, 3.6. Well, I just had to make all those changes in here. Thanks. That was
now
fun.
you have to undo. Oh, thanks. But that was very impressive. You know what? I will give you that. I will unironically give you a golf clap for that. That was very good. Thanks. That was fun. It's such a bittersweet song. It didn't take me very long to pick up on the fact that this song could very much be interpreted as a band breakup song in addition to a song about a romantic breakup. If this is true, and this is something that really caught my mind, that means, Tracy, that this is a song written from the perspective of the remaining members of a band after or in BNL's case, one of their lead singers leaves to go solo, which would make this song the anti-Salisbury Hill, would it not?
Mm-hmm.
This would be like the rest of Genesis writing a song about Peter Gabriel leaving. This song is good enough on its own, I think, to sneak into my best of playlist. But thinking about its relevance and the emotion I hear behind it, a half shoe award. Thanks, that was fun. A very respectable 4.2 out of 5. And I didn't see a unit of measurement for this one, so I'm curious what we landed on, if anything.
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look.
4.2 fun times out of 5. Fun memories.
You know what, Heidi? How do you like these apples?
I love these apples. They're delicious. As a matter of fact, they are.
Betsy, what are you doing over there?
She said.
It's a project I'm working on.
What are you working on? You're painting a
Aaron
rock?
commissioned me to do some talismans, and so that's what I'm doing, and just putting the final touches on.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay.
They have to dry in time. Anyway, sorry.
But for these apples, that is for me. That's a 5. I love these apples. It's always been one of my favorites. I love the earlier things. So for me, that's one of my 5 songs because I sing that every time it comes on. And I just like the ebb and flow of it. I've never been given next generation a new dictionary. She circled the word romance. I just love, I don't know, that song has always been one of my favorites. So that's a 5 for me. So yay.
How do you like them apples?
All the kids are like, what are you talking about, old man? Them apples. Yeah. How do I like these apples? Nice, crisp, and clean is how I like these apples. That's also how the song is. I like the song. I like the sound, I should say, that they got on the recording. There's some nice wordplay in the lyrics. It's a very solid song. I'm not completely in love with it, but I think it's just good enough to earn my a spot on the best of playlist for me. So how do I like them apples or these apples? I would say 4 regerts out of 5.
Well, you know, those apples long to be close to you.
Just like me, they long to be close to you.
There it is again.
For me, that's a 4. Let me come back to This Is My Place.
Okay.
But this is where it ends.
We'll go from our place to where it ends.
That's a 5 for me. Call the police and call the press, but please, I got to tell my friends. This is where it ends. This is
a 5.
I love there's so much I love about that song. The harmonies at the end. I just really, again, I'm an oldie fan. I know my numbers don't always go that direction, but that song is one of my favorites too.
All right, no more puns. This is where it ends.
Oh, come on now. This is where it ends. Nice ballad-esque song with Stephen Page absolutely crushing the vocals. Nice lyrics. Moving from I don't buy everything I read to I haven't even read everything I've bought was very clever. And I Believe in the Prozac Nation made me think of a song that I wrote called Everyone I Know Is on Antidepressants. So it probably gets a little brownie points for me there. But seriously, it's a very nice song, and I think well deserving of a spot on my best of playlist. I would give this probably my highest score yet, 4.4 Prozacs out of 5.
Okay. I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I was about the same, and you know, I'm tired of fighting with you.
Frankly, I'm tired of fighting with you. Tired of fighting with you. Wow, that title really hits hard, doesn't it? Kevin vocals and this song definitely sounds like he wrote the song. This might be my favorite Kevin song. It's quite beautiful. It's very evocative of that heartache that Kevin tends to sing about. His songs are often, I think, imbued with this tinge of sadness, and I'm a sucker for that bittersweet stuff. So I would give Tired of Fighting with You a solid 4.2 jumps in a lake out of 5. Oh, and I should say this is very possibly my favorite song from Silverball, an album that I famously am not particularly kind to all the time.
And Aaron, I'm always talking to you about the fact that I'm tired of fighting with you. And Heidi, I told you so.
Has such a combative personality.
I never told you, I told you. So what's with all the haterade on that? A 3.6, 3.5, 4? For me, Told You So is right up there. I'm going to give, I love Told You So too.
Now, a 4 isn't a bad score.
No, I'm going to give that a 4.5 though, because it's better than that. Sleep at the Wheel for me is a 5 every freaking time, by the way.
I am so glad. Thank you, Heidi. I am not the only one that threw a 5 that way.
Are you the only one?
That is, it's such a roller coaster of a song, and it's so bizarre and strange. And what's really weird is I was listening to that album pretty heavily when it came out, and my ex-husband, my husband at the time, actually was in an accident in Massachusetts, and that song, just that whole carnival-esque ending with the accordion and that it's that weird, the tumbling and it's just so weird and bizarre and brilliantly done. And Steven, the end is just classic, and that is a 5 for me as well.
Well, I said that I said that I gave it a 5. I didn't give it a 5. I gave it a 4.85, but I can't go back and fix it. It's Too Little Too Late.
And Too Little Too Late for me is a 5. I just, the minute I hear that opening riff, ja, ja, ja,
it's a banger.
And the best line of any song. If I move my fingers here and if I say I love you, dear. And he's talking about getting a girl off. And that is so brilliant. And if I play the same 3 chords, will you just go, oh, how amazing is that? And so that's way up there for me too. I'm in a joyful mood today, I guess.
What do you think about that, Aaron?
Yes, it's Too Little Too Late for Silverball. I'm sorry. I really did try to like you. I like you. I just don't love you. Too Little Too Late. I like this one right off the bat. Nice bouncy energy, nice vocal melody from Steven. Also, it makes use of a musical device that I'm particularly fond of, where one instrument or vocalist will repeat a phrase or maybe make very subtle changes to it while the chords change around it. So it sort of gives new context to the phrase or melody. It's sort of like walking around it from the outside and getting a 3-dimensional perspective on it. I always enjoy that. I would give Too Little Too Late 4.3 leather pants out of 5.
Nice. Lots of 5s.
But am I right? Too Little Too Late.
You just skipped all kinds of songs that you loved.
I know, right? That was a big bummer for me. Not being able to be there for Tonight was big, and Too Little was big, because those I love talking about.
Well, I don't know if Betsy's going to feel the same way on this next song. Betsy, what did you think about the Toronto TFC theme song?
Why? Why is what I thought. Hey, I got no emotional attachment to it. It's just something they kind of did to do. I don't know. 2.
Yay, I'm not the hater on that one anymore.
Oh, what were the scores on it?
3, 3.5, 3.
You know what? It was funny. Give it a 2.5.
It was funny.
There's a bit of a theme here about me missing theme songs. Yeah, the Toronto Football Club team theme. So I'm not a huge sports fan. I can appreciate sports in the right circumstances, and I'll usually watch if the Sox are in the playoffs, for instance. But for the most part, I don't pay too much attention to sports. And of the major spectator sports, I'll be honest, soccer or football, if you're not American, is probably the one I'm least interested in. Now, between Ted Lasso and Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds buying Wrexham AFC, in recent years I've become slightly more interested in football, but still not something that really gets my blood pumping. I appreciate a good pep song. I played drums in the pep band for both my high school and university, but without the personal investment, it's just a pep song. You know, it's certainly a very good pep song, and if I ran a football club, I'd be super chuffed that the ladies offered to record our theme song. But that's what it is. You know, it's fine. 2.5 bitchy out of 5. I'm not sure where that came from, but that's my
mascot. I am not kidding you.
Bitchy is the mascot.
No, it's a
bitchy bear,
a falcon that they let loose into the stadium every
Bitchy
time.
the Falcon. Did they have a contest to name it online or something, and that's how it got named? Yeah. Okay, that explains so much. All right, fine. 2.5 bitchies out of 5.
It's not the name I would have come up with. Trust me. That's the next song. Trust me.
Oh man, yes, it isn't. All right. Trust me, 2 words that inspire serious distrust in the wise. It's a good song, solid song. Probably would have been maybe a 3.9 for me, but the interesting subject matter of the lyrics, the narrator dealing with someone obsessed with them, makes it that much more interesting and noteworthy to me. There's a wonderful song by Get Set Go called I'm a Goner. I did manage to reference another band even in the catch-up episode. But that song touches upon adjacent subject matter. But anyways, I would say this squeaks into my best of playlist. I would say 4 sheep nibbles out of 5. That is nibbles, right? Not nipples. Sheep nipples.
I don't feel like they put enough into it. I felt like it was unfinished.
I'm raising my score on that one. That's a 5 for me. I went 4.8.
Yeah, very witty.
Everything is
What about you, Betsy? What do you think of Unfinished?
Oh, I didn't realize I hadn't rated it. Unfinished.
Dun 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 dun
dun dun dun.
Betsy's talking about Unfinished.
You know, I spent all this time putting all the songs into that folder
because I'm doing have a Beavis and Butthead shirt on.
Yeah, sluts. We're gonna go play the sluts.
Unfinished. Very catchy, very good wordplay. I would say 4.75, I think.
Ooh.
Now, Heidi, I can't believe that you missed this one. I was bummed that you and Aaron missed this one. I'm looking forward to hearing what Aaron's thoughts are on this, but what do you think of War on Drugs?
Well, and just FYI, I also just put in my score for Vanishing,
well, it disappeared before I could see that it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of Kevin's most brilliant singing lines.
Oh.
And I love that. I gave a 4.5. I hear that song in my head often. He's a magician rather, and wishing, and you're the one vanishing. War on Drugs is probably one of the best songs ever written by them. I think it's underrated because it's one of their more melancholy / meaningful songs. And I wish that more people like this. And this came out when and yet we've made no improvements. In fact, things have gotten worse. And Stephen is so good on this. I'm sorry, friends, but I mean, she likes to sleep with the radio on so she can dream of her favorite song that no one has ever sung since she was small. And when Stephen goes down into that low, gritty part of his range, and the stories, I have a hard time holding it together for this song for many reasons. And almost everybody, I'm sure that most of our friends that listen and many of us that host this podcast also have dealt with personal things when it comes to similar stories and the drugs, the people that have lived like that. And then she cracked. Like, that kills me every time, that line. And when Steven goes in, especially when they're doing it live, I lose it every time. Because when I love the chorus, won't it be dull when we rid ourselves of all these demons hunting us to keep us company? Like, holy smokes. But when he goes into towards the end, where he lifts up into that next register, like he just goes into a stratosphere when he goes up there. When he goes, but what good is that? What makes fear that once you want to die is just the same as what keeps you alive. And then that last line, the more the trouble, then some suicide is what. Like, it just, holy smokes, Steven. And it's so sad that he dealt with so many issues with drugs as well, and that wasn't coming to light to the public until post Maroon. So like, it's so tragic. And that little coda about, hard to admit, I fought the war on drugs, my hands were tied and the phone was bugged, another died and the world just shrugged it off. And we think about the millions of people dying of fentanyl overdoses and seeing things laced with dangerous drugs that you can't even smoke weed anymore without wondering, or you can't wonder if your kid, I mean, we've got kids and they're like, Noah just turned 14 yesterday and he's a very good kid. But what if he goes to a party and some kid hands him like a blue pill and is like, no, dude, it's totally nothing. And, because this is happening every day. And yet, it's just another number, and it's become so prevalent. So they were so ahead of their time, really talking about this subject. And I know, listeners, I'm on a rant right now, but I think that this is one of the greatest songs ever written. So I think it's a 5 for me. In short, it's a 5.
I'm working hard not to speak right now, Heidi, because I love this song so much, and it's so important to me. So.
It's an incredibly important song, and I wish more people really, really knew about it and listened. And again, I know I'm kind of one of the few that thinks Everything to Everyone is one of the great albums. Like, I love this album so much, because I think that they took a deep turn with some of these things. And I like,
since the beginning of the podcast, I've been like, I need Aaron to hear this song. I need to hear Aaron's thoughts on this song.
Okay.
So tell us about what you think about War on Drugs.
Yes, I do recall having heard it. I think literally everyone else on the show referred to this song at least once during my tenure. So I have been anticipating it quite a bit. And wow, it did not disappoint. Even without even considering the lyrics, I would award it at least a 4.5 purely as a piece of music. It's quite moving, and it has that bittersweet that I alluded to earlier that I love. It's quite a different song, but it gives me a similar feeling to Isn't Life Strange by the Moody Blues. And when I did a little research on this song and read what Stephen Page had to say about it being based on true events, and people, when I started to like Google for this song, I inevitably came across like Reddit posts where people were saying this song saved my life, and it was actually quite effective emotionally to read that. And yeah, I mean, with the subject matter, with the personal stories that people have shared about how it's impacted them, and the fact that it's just overall a really beautiful piece of music, how could I award it anything but 5 luminous veils out of 5? Also, there's an almost Radiohead-like quality to this. I want to say it sounds like somewhere between the Bends and OK Computer, closer to the Bends, but beautiful song.
Hey folks, Stefan Shirazi and Renee Richardson here from the Metallica Report.
And we are proud members of the Pantheon podcast family, where the best of music and podcasts unite.
We've got something pretty cool for you. We are giving away a VIP Metallica merch package worth over $250.
That's a whole lot of Scary Guys, Skulls, M72, and other sought-after Metallica swag. And we've made it easy for you to win. Follow and share the Metallica Report, and you're in the game. Go to pantheonpodcast.com/Metallica. Enter your email and hit that button to be entered to win.
And just like that, you're eligible for our monthly Metallica merch VIP package.
And guess what, metalheads? You can enter every month, so just do it. And while we love our global brothers and sisters, this giveaway is US only.
Well, Betsy gave this a 4.5, but you know what? The rest of us gave it a 5. I think we took the night.
Oh, we did. We took the night. We took the night. Looking at the scores that Betsy and Heidi submitted, I guess I like the song more than they do. It's not going to make my best of playlist, but I certainly wouldn't skip it if it came on, and I might even seek it out in the future. I like the driving, pumping synth bass. It's something different. I would say it's a solid 3.4 American Graffitis out of 5.
And I guess you guys took the night off that night. So Heidi or Betsy, either one of you could could jump in on that one.
A Jim song. Let's see.
Yeah, I just had to pull it up because I forget a lot about them. It's that song, Fake News, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say it's a little forgettable, at least that particular song. It's not bad. For some reason, that album has not stuck with me like so many other albums. Yeah,
it is, and Jim is good on it, but it's still not. I don't know. It still sounded a little like a Brothers Cregan song, to me, and I love Jim. Jim, we love you. Come on. But I really, it's not one that sticks. So I would give that I think I'm going to give that a 2.8, which is very low for me, but it just doesn't fit for me. Like, I don't know. It may, and again, that may change over time, but not this year. Betsy, what about you? What do you think?
It's somewhere in the middle for me. I'm not sure which side of the middle. I think probably, he sings it beautifully. The lyrics are nice, but it is just a little kind of forgettable. I think I know what he's talking about with the song. I think I would go 2.65.
Ooh, very specific.
I'm torn.
We're back to you, Betsy, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you very much, Tracy.
But we're also talking about that song. You haven't given me a score on that one.
Oh, okay. You weren't just being civil. Yeah, come back to me. I'm just going to refresh myself on that one.
While I'm waiting and while I'm trying to find that, well, it's that season. We're coming up close. For when people listen to this, we've already passed it, but it's time to discuss We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
It is. Actually, you had not sent this to me, but I did notice on the sheet that I didn't have a score for it, so I just assumed that I was not present for that episode. So I did take the time to listen to it. Well, my thoughts on most of the holiday album stuff. This one, it's just a classic carol, There's not really a lot that makes it stand out or be noteworthy outside of some nice vocal harmonies. But, at least it wasn't an Elevator Muzak version. So I'd say it's right down the middle. I would give it 2.5 out of 5. I didn't see a unit of measurement in our sheet there. So Christmas trees.
Okay, we'll put that in.
2 regular sized Christmas trees and a Charlie Brown Christmas tree for me.
Wow. It's that one that was at your party.
Yeah, that's not even a full. Yeah, it's like a mini Charlie Brown tree.
I like that tree at that. I kept looking at the tree and saying, "What a good boy."
The tree is a good boy. It's doing its best. It's making oxygen. Well, that one's not. It's a plastic tree, but uh, we're not here to talk about fake plastic trees, even though I mentioned Radiohead. No, we're talking about What a Good Boy. From the title, I was wondering if it was going to be like a gifted kid tragedy story. It turns out it's more of a commentary on gender roles, or probably even more so generally the expectations placed upon us. Being good, being smart, being strong. I think it's natural to want to shake those off, especially, when you're young. So there's definitely something relatable to it. It's a nice ballad, and I really dig the emotion you can hear in Steven's voice. I would give it 4.5 hair shirts out of 5.
Wow, that's a high one for all of us. All right. You know what? I think we all agreed what a wild tune that was.
Indeed, what a wild tune. Well, you know me in Snack Time, we've got a history. This one isn't bad, it's got some interesting harmonies and a quirky They Might Be Giants kind of feel, but it's no Pollywog in a Bog, I can tell you that. I actually seek that song out from time to time, when I need a little pick-me-up. I really can't see me going, oh, I really need to listen to What a Wild Tune, but I did find it more interesting, with some of the odd elements than a lot of the other songs on Snack Time, so I do think it's one of the better songs on that album. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. And I saw no unit for that either. So moon cycles,
okay,
werewolves. I don't know.
Okay. So, at Christmas time, visions of sugar plums dance in their head. And I want to know, Heidi, what do you dream about?
This, when I dream, when you dream, what do you dream about? This song, I love this song so much. I had this when Noah was born. We were still using CDs, so I had made a CD for when Noah was born, and put that on the CD as part of one of the mixes that I made when he was first in the hospital, and our first 24 hours together in the hospital. And this song always stuck with me. More than when I had my daughter. Because when did Stunt come out?
1998.
So Katie had been born already. So I probably would have put it on hers when she was born. But I love the lyric of the fontanelle pulses with lives that he's lived, with memories he'll learn to ignore. And when it is closed, he already knows he's forgotten all he knew before. And there's so many hopes that Stephen must have had for his son, and just like the hopes that we have. And I love the are they color or black and white, Yiddish or English, or languages not yet conceived? Are they silent or boisterous? Do you hear noises just loud enough to be perceived? And I love the Del Shannon comment. Do you hear Del Shannon's Runaway? And I'm curious about why he put that in there. Like, did he listen to that album a lot? My little runaway, my run away. That's Del Shannon. Sorry, that was
it's a weird one to listen to if you're trying to put your kid to sleep.
No, but I wonder, was that something he was a fan of when he was, I don't know, but it seems like an odd choice to put in there. And I love the opening of it too. It sounds like something in the womb. The way they set the song up, it's very a heartbeat, wombish, ethereal. So this one is a 5 for me. I love this song.
Wow.
And a lot of
totally
people don't.
The hater on that.
I love that song.
I am totally the hater on that. Who knew that would happen?
Who knew Jim had it in him? Well, I knew, because Jim's a very good musician. But yeah, it's a nice tune. I seem to have enjoyed it more than you and Betsy, Tracy. I'm not in love with it, but I found it enjoyable enough and pleasant. Nice catchy melody, nice vocal harms. I'm probably somewhere between Betsy and Heidi. I'll say 3.3 SPFs out of 5.
Okay. Well, I didn't have anything nice to say about this song. But you know, why say anything nice?
You really didn't, but you know what?
I like this one. It's almost evocative of the pop ska era of the mid to late 90s when the Boss Tones ruled the world. with the brass. I kind of like that. It's another very solid one that I would say just makes my cutoff for the best of playlist. I would give it 5 silences out of 5.
5 silences.
5 moments of silence. Oh, sorry, 4 silences. Apologies.
It just made the
Yeah,
list.
it barely made the list. It's a perfect song. No, yeah, sorry. It's very good. It's a 4 silences out of 5 for me.
I'm not a huge fan of that one either. I don't know why. This one, for some reason, has never been. Granted, between the Blame and Blamin', I get those 2 albums a little bit confused sometimes because they're it's easy to confuse those 2. But that particular song never really stuck out like I thought it would for me. So I'm gonna give that one a 3.5. Which is pretty low for me.
It is. It's almost like you were wishing that it was something else.
Wishing. Oh, yes. I think this is an adorable song. Again, Snack Time spent a lot of time in my CD player. And simple. And I think it's very, I wish I could speak with my dog too. Oh, too soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Heidi.
Aww.
Well, he can speak to the living ones.
My Savannah Banana. But I think it's so simple, and I like the simplicity of just walking on a cloud, speaking with your dog, wishing every wish comes true. But it's simple and short and memorable for a kid. I'm going to give that a 3 because it's simple and short. It's not the greatest song ever written. I hate it.
What do you think, Betsy? Was she wishing well?
Oh.
Hey, that was proper English. I got that in there.
I appreciate their enthusiasm and their energy on that song. And it really just is a fresh breath of baby bare naked ladies, So I like that about it, but it's really sounds like they're just kind of having fun with it. I guess I'd give that one, I don't know, they're just kind of noodling around, so maybe 2.8.
Wow, you gave it the highest score so far.
Really?
Oh my gosh, we ripped that one to shreds.
Oh yeah.
I would like to wish this song. You know what? I do. I wish it well. It's weird. I could have sworn I was on this episode, but this must have been one where I did all my research and prep and then maybe had a migraine or something happen at the last minute because I remember listening to this song a lot. So it's too bad I can't find my notes and all those all those listens. I won't say they went to waste, but when I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely remember this one. It's a very early demo, obviously, and the recording quality is garbage. And it's kind of a half joke, half song. But I have to say there's a somewhat charming quality to how lo-fi it is and how much fun they're obviously having. So I'd say that elevates it up to a 2.2 Casio keyboards out of 5 for me.
I mean, are you feeling tired right now? You had a pretty late night last night. Do you need sleep?
Who needs sleep? Yeah, who needs? I'll tell you who needs sleep. I need sleep, honestly. But interestingly, if this were on a more recent album, I probably would have been a little more enthusiastic about it, But on an album with Alcohol, Call and Answer, It's All Been Done, it kind of struggles to stand out, I think. It's not a masterpiece, but it's above average. I would say 3.75 Electric Sheep out of 5.
I haven't talked in a little while other than transitions, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to do my my switchovers that we have here. I'm going to change Call and Answer, and I'm taking it up to a 5.
Damn right you are.
What was it before?
What were you even thinking?
I mean, it was
before?
a 4.8, but
Stefan gave it a 3.25. That's it. He's banned. He's banned. You're canceled, Stefan. You're canceled.
And
3.25 for one of the greatest songs ever written in the history of the freaking planet.
I did a lot of reordering of my favorites. So within the 4.8 range, I did a lot of reordering to get them to all balance out. So I'm not going to go through all of those because I added some hundredths and took away some hundredths just to get them in the right order. But I'm going to jump over to the other day I met a bear. I was a little too kind on that one. It's not a 5. Is it a really good children's song? Yes, but it is not a perfect children's song.
You gave it a 5?
I gave it a 5. I was in a really good mood that week, I think. So I'm going to bump that down to a 4.5. It's not a big drop, but it's a drop. And as I went through this year, I was looking through, and I think I also was a little too kind on Another Postcard. I like Another Postcard, but is it a 4.5? No. I'm going to bump that down to a 4. And at the same time, I like Baby Seat better than Another Postcard, so I'm bumping that up to a 4.3. Skinhead, I was a little too happy about hearing a song that I didn't get to hear very often and hearing a very different version of BNL, but the quality is not all there, so I'm going with a 3 on Skinhead. I'm bumping that down. And Born Human, I like a little bit more than what I gave it. Again, I'm glad that BNL did not include this on anything official because I like Kevin's version that he did with Thin Buckle much better. And the score is higher for the Thin Buckle one, but I do need to raise up the BNL version to like a 2.75. So those are my adjustments for the ones I had already scored. Do you guys have any things that you want to make sure that you adjust?
Just one for me.
Just one for you. Okay.
Well, the song that dare not speak its name. What a letdown. What did I give that?
You gave that a 3.5.
I'm going to give that, looking at it through a lens of our reinterpretation, I'm going to give it a 4.2.
Wow.
Tied Heidi for the highest score on that one now.
What was it?
It went up to a 4.2 with Heidi right there with you.
Oh, nice.
Great minds.
What about you, Heidi? Do you have any changes?
I'm looking through. I almost want to give Baby Seat a 5, and I think I am. I have it as a 4.8, but I love that song. And I think, again, for like, I don't know, there's so many things good about that song. So that's going to be a 5. So we're changing that one to a 5. You can live your life and I love the story. Like it's like a twisted Jack and Diane. You live with the kid and all those stupid things you did with Billy. Yeah, I love that song. Yeah, Billy sucks. Aw.
Well, then that brings us to all of the things that we've done so far this year that we've talked about. I am going to, once again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to skip over the averages because some of the albums we have actually already covered, or we've already finished. And so I don't want to just to reveal where people are finishing up already. And Heidi still has a few more scores to throw in as well. So
I think I'm all updated now.
We have 3 W songs left. And a little exposure here. We've already recorded one of them at the time of this recording, so we really only have 2 W songs left. And then we have 4 Y songs, and that's it. And I may have 1 song left up my sleeve. But I need to keep that a little bit covered up. I don't want frostbite. But Tracy, what will you do then? Well, we still need to cover the new albums. And believe it or not, since we started recording, BNL has released some other songs that aren't on albums. And I actually uncovered some new songs that we had already bypassed that letter, so I couldn't just throw it in. So we are going to cover those songs. But when BNL first started, they released everything on tapes. And in that tradition, you had to flip over the tape and listen to it in the opposite direction. So in that vein, we're going to do the same. So then for the next few months, after we finish the Ys, as we're discussing all the new songs, we're going to do them in reverse alphabetical order.
The man's a genius. Genius! It's kind of like when you're teaching a class and you're going around the room alphabetically and you always end up with the W's, like I'm a W, but I was a B. When I was in school, I was a B. And so it was like, I always get called on first. And then they're like, we're going to switch it up and we're going to go backwards this time. So it's kind of exciting. I like this change.
Believe it or not, that brings us all the way to December of next year. With just discussing.
Shut the refrigerator. We're going to milk this podcast for everything we can.
There's all that material. But you know what? I will make you guys wait. That's when we're going to start our reviews. I'm not filling episodes and I'm not trying to keep us going like Heidi's saying. Don't worry. We have a plan on what we're going to do after BNL is done if they don't release another album in the next 12 months. But I have been looking forward to doing the reviews of the scores and also reviewing the albums and reordering them. I've been looking forward to doing that for a long time.
That's exciting.
So
my favorite podcast in the universe that I listen to religiously has been going on for over 10 years. So, I mean, if there's still good material and good conversation and Betsy can still paint rocks, we're good to go.
So yeah, that's the plan that's going to bring us all the way to April of 2025. And somewhere around this time next year is when we'll talk about what the future of BNABCs will be after we're done what we just discussed. So this is not the ending year. I know it feels like we're coming up on the end, but it's not an ending year. It's actually a really exciting year, and I've been looking forward to coming to this stuff for a while. And Betsy, you had a score for us for We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
I appreciate the kind of like Say Damn's Real kind of feel to it. And they put their own little won't goes in it, and it was pretty cute. It was pretty, so close to the original that, that kind of lowered the score a little, but yeah, overall I would say it's a 3.0.
All right. Well, guys, it has been a great year. I have really enjoyed doing this with you this year, and I look forward to another year of this.
Me too.
Wait, when did Betsy join?
And
Heidi.
When did Betsy join?
About a year and a half ago.
And when did I join?
I want to say
was
a year
I
and a half ago.
When did I join?
You were on last year's.
20?
You joined. You've been on for 2 years,
and I still don't have my face on the merch. What?
Yeah. What? WT filth and foul. We gotta make that change.
Yeah, exactly.
We've also, I will say too, though, Tracy,
do.
some of
Then
our
I'll leave.
favorite
Make that
episodes,
change.
like thinking back to people we've interviewed over this year, it's been a pretty impressive year of interviews. We've gotten to meet Noah Janex. We've had him on a couple of times. We have our dear friends, Justin and, Andrew.
Andrew?
We had, who was the director dude who was awesome? Phil, oh my gosh, that was
Philip
so sick. We've
We've had a
had,
lot of great people on.
what's his name who wrote McDonald's Girl? Like we've had some pretty sick and awesome people on. We've also had some interesting interviews.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked to Andy again. I mean, come on. I mean, we just, we just keep hitting these awesome people that have had this crazy interaction, and that's just expanding our circle. Like it's really cool. And that's your work, Tracy. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Talk about perseverance.
And one that you didn't
And when they
mention,
go on tour this summer again, we'll have to meet up again and do our thing.
Eric was good.
one of the ones that you didn't mention that was a real, like, I was worried that it wasn't going to be the kind of interview that it ended up being, was Michael Philip Voyevoda. He was
That was
so
amazing.
Oh yeah,
That was
so
amazing.
willing to.
Yeah,
share
we've
so
had
much
we've had
stuff.
some.
And so nice, like so willing to talk about and stuff. And we were like, there were so many other connections for other movies and videos and things that we were able to talk about with him. That was so cool. He was probably my favorite interview this year, besides Andy. Wait, when was Andy?
Andy was last year, so we're.
He
safe.
was last
Yeah.
year. Okay, so yeah, so he was. I mean, even though I really loved Noah too, like Noah, I now consider like part of our crew.
Yeah,
like I love having Noah on.
Yeah, really. True.
Yeah, Noah's just more of a guest than he is an interview at this point. We get to have him on, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, it really, really is. And so, do you have anybody in your back pocket for ideas besides the band, of course?
I mean,
like, let's get Tiny on. Come on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Tiny, we know you listen.
I mean, like, that would be sick.
I would love to have Tiny on. I bet he has some amazing stories.
I bet he could tell some
Oh,
stories.
6 stories. I mean, I won't tell you about that one time that Tiny came out and I was like, hey, no, I mean, I have talked to Tiny a few times, but never like that. But it'd be cool. But Merry Christmas. I do I am glad that I did not have very many that I missed. It was just all the really good ones, like some of my favorite songs that I missed. But I did send you something about, I think it was When You Dream. I can't remember. I conducted Messiah a couple weeks ago, and it was an amazing experience. And they're all community members, and they're lovely. They range from 85 to like 15 years old. It's like crazy. And I talked to them about how it brings people together, because people bring their grandchildren and they come every year, and it's part of their tradition to come see Messiah. And I talked about your extended families that you keep growing. And, you know, I have my home family and my real family, like my physical family. And then you have your work family. And then you have, you know, all these families that change from your workplaces over time, and your students and all of that if you're a teacher. But then you have your other little mini families that have cropped up. Like, this is one of my families.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see each other at concerts, and I love this part of our family. And my Messiah family that I only see once a year for 4 weeks, because we just rehearse on Sundays for 4 Sundays, and then we have a concert, and then I'm done until November of next year. So, but this I consider as part of my emotional support family system, if you will.
Agreed.
Because we get to talk and share about something we all love and are passionate about. And that's pretty darn cool.
I agree.
So Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
That's everyone, except for you, Tracy.
Buck.
No, except for Stefan, who still gave that ridiculous score to Call and Answer, which is Heat band. Band. No, we love you, Stefan, and we miss you, and we miss Jeff.
Yes.
And Aaron, where are you, Aaron?
Jeff and Stefan, we know you listen. Please come back.
We know you listen. We know you're sitting at home after each episode going, oh, I would have totally said that. You're like, oh man, I wish I'd have been in on that. No, Jeff is going to be famous and like go on tour, and we're going to have to go, hey, maybe you could get us some comp tickets and we can see you after the show.
We'll have to be like, hey, Jeff, we know you listen. Come on the show.
Have t-shirts with your face on them.
We know you.
And Betsy's isn't, so we're just going to have to crudely paste Betsy's face over his face like in Talladega Nights and be like, you just put my face over his face.
I mean, it's tempting. He doesn't come back soon. I'm going to have to do that.
Well, I mean, he is on a movie soundtrack now, y'all.
I know. But there is a nice space right here on our logo. Like right here would be a good spot for Betsy. We just need Noah to like put her in there.
Someone make it so.
Betsy, I got to
make it so.
Wow. Almost through to the end of the year. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's always a pleasure to talk to you all about music and just kind of geek out with my friends. It's been a nice year, and I'm looking forward to 2024.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
To celebrate joining Pantheon Podcasts, Rock Camp, the podcast, the official podcast of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, is giving away a guitar signed by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, Marty Friedman, formerly of Megadeth, and legendary shredder Zakk Wylde, plus our rockstar counselors like Vinny Appice, Monty Pittman, and more. To enter to win, simply follow, rate, and review our podcast on your preferred platform, and that's all you have to do. For more information, go to rockcamp.com/podcast.